Well, the Autel Evo 2 is officially delayed. The other night, we took a look at what some of the reasons may be behind it. Got that coming up next. Hi everyone, Bill from BillTheDroneReviewer, where I make drone and drone related videos. If you're new here, welcome and consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night, Marcus Crawford, Ron Braun, and I hosted Rotor Talk Live. The main subject of that evening was the Autel Evo 2 official delay. Marcus, Ron, and I took a deep dive into it and gave and shared our thoughts as to what the reasons may be for the official delay. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. It was Autel announced yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and read part of the statement here in a second, that the Evo 2 has been delayed. Now, if you remember at all what happened with the Evo 1, I'm going to call it the Evo 1 for lack of a better term. It was announced at CES, and in February that year, we had information from the FCC Grant ID database with pictures and the owner's manual and the whole 9 yards. We didn't get it in consumers' hands till the end of June, beginning of July that year. Okay. And, there was a lot of angst among the Autel Evo community with this. Okay. So here we are with the Evo 2. And, one of the things I know a lot of people had said with this was, they need to come out of the gate running. Autel. They need to hit a home run with this, which it looks like they have with the drones that they've come out with. But that's part one. Part two is getting them into the hands of consumers. All right, and we're going to go into some of this here in a second. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put up the statement on the screen. I do want to read through this tonight, and I do want to highlight a couple of things because I think this is real important that we go over this here. Okay, and it's hello, everyone. First, we want to thank all of our fans and followers. It doesn't matter if you just follow one of our social channels or if you fly our products every day. Your support and enthusiasm has always kept us going here at the Seattle office. With the announcement of Evo 2 at CES, the response has been absolutely crazy. This community is exploding, and we thank you for your patience with us as we are still trying to catch up on our responses. We also want to be as transparent as possible and give you all periodic updates on the status and availability of Evo 2. That way, you have the most up-to-date information straight from us and not just rumors. Our goal at CES was to get the initial units of Evo 2 8K into the hands of dealers by the end of January. Unfortunately, during production, we found a bug in our software that could limit flight performance under normal operation. Instead of shipping the hardware with a known issue and forcing users to perform day one updates, we have decided to delay the rest of production and shipments until we have resolved the issue. Our projected timeline is to have Evo 2 available for purchase in March. This is not a set date or time frame, and things can always change. But with the information we have today, that is our goal. The team in Seattle is very small, and we are adding channel support as we can. We are looking to start up our website newsletter again in the next few weeks. So for any further updates, please check our website, the official social channels, and emails coming directly from us. We thank you for your patience. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to get a hold of us at support@autelrobotics.com. Thank you all again, and fly safe. Okay. Now, there's some things that I really want to focus in here is their statement and what they say here. It's in that our goal at CES paragraph. It said they found a bug in our software, and instead of shipping the hardware with a known issue and forcing users to perform day one updates, we've decided to delay the rest of production and shipments until we've resolved the issue. Ron and Marcus, what are your thoughts regarding that?
I believe him. Ron?
Yes, I have no reason to disbelieve that it's a software bug, and they're doing the right thing. I think by holding it back until they get this bug fixed. I mean, we've seen people like Ken Dono fly it, and I don't remember him complaining about any major flying issues. But again, I'll take their word for it that it's a software bug that's big enough to hold release back until I hear it differently. I mean, Bill, do you think it could have anything to do with this? That flew over in China as well as a software bug?
Well, Lauren had pointed out, they had received information from DJI that there's going to be delays because of the coronavirus. So that's a distinct possibility that does enter into play here. But I think the thing about this is, okay, software updates are relatively easy to take care of. I mean, let's, as far as that's concerned, if it's a hardware issue, it's going to take time. Okay. It's going to take retooling. It's going to take parts. It's going to take suppliers. There's a whole chain here. All right. This had to have been a serious enough issue, software speaking, for them to have delayed this, because, the route would have been, and the general consensus and the thought would have been, the sooner that Autel can get this out, the better. And, if it was that serious to hold this back, it must really be a serious issue, because, I would not mind, and I think you guys would agree with me, if day one, let's say I get an Evo 2 8K, and day one, there's a firmware update. You need to run it immediately to take care of XYZ issue. You're not going to hesitate. You're going to do it. And how many times have we gotten, for example, the Mavic Mini, when we got it right away, there was a firmware update. Okay. I know with the Mavic 2 Pro, when I got that, same thing. I had to do a firmware update right away for that. So, that's not uncommon. That's not an uncommon thing.
Hey, Bill.
Yes.
So I can tell you, at CES, I got to handle the Evo 2, pardon me, in all three of its forms with the 3 different cameras on it. It was very clear to me that it's a very finished product. These were not prototype looking products, very solid drone. It looked like it was ready for prime time. They were flying it in a cage there at CES. It was, obviously how much you're going to tell from somebody flying it in a cage. But when they put up that infrared camera on there, they had monitors around. It was amazing. You've never seen resolution like that in infrared, like with that drone. And the other thing that I'll say about it, it was very quiet. Now, like Ron said, we've seen Kenneth Dono fly it. We've seen some others fly it. So whatever it is, if it is indeed a software issue, there can be a software issue that can't be fixed with a firmware push. It could be software within a chip on one of the boards, that sort of thing. So I just don't think we have any reason not to take them at face value. And I got to tell you, if I would applaud them for making sure that they're going to get that thing out there correct and ready to go when they get it in the consumer's hands. Because as you said, Bill, they can't afford to have a hiccup, because their competition is DJI, and DJI is they're top notch. So Autel needs to be that or more.
Hey, Bill, Cliff makes an interesting comment, or a good comment in the chat. He says, what is wrong with us doing a day one update? Is that so horrible? Yeah, he's right. Many of us get a drone where the first thing you have to do is do a firmware update. So, what would have hurt here? So maybe there is more to this than just a small firmware update.
No, Lauren said the issue Autel is having is inconsistent communication restricting range. Okay. Thank you for that comment, Lauren. That's very interesting. We all know, one of the reasons that the Autel Evo and Evo 2 is popular is there's no geofencing with it, unlike DJI drones. So that does appeal to a lot of people, as far as that's concerned. It's really an unknown at this point, but that's a good point that Lauren brings up here. But I gotta agree with Marcus, and I did talk about this last night in my video. They were transparent. Autel was transparent with this right away. They didn't hesitate. They came out. They communicated this clearly to us. Okay, Last year, we were left from February through June with crickets. They didn't say a word. No matter how much that you went after them in terms of their, emailing them, pinging them on Twitter, everything, it was silence. You really didn't hear anything back. We don't have any updates at this time, was the answer that they got back to you for months at a time. And then finally, it was the end of June, beginning of July. Here they are. They're coming out right away, and they're saying, we got to stop the process here, guys. They're being transparent. So, number one, I give them some kudos for that. Number two, I also give them some kudos for trying to say what's going on here, all right? Because, a lot of times, your competition is reading what you're putting out. So you want to be real careful here with what you're saying. But, they came out with a statement saying that, this is a software issue. But I think what they should have done is they probably should have used wording like, this is a serious enough of a software issue. It's preventing us from releasing the Evo 2 at this point in time. And we're going to be looking at a future date, possibly March, instead of saying, we don't want you to have to do an upload on day one kind of a thing. I think they probably could have used some better language as far as that's concerned. One of the things that I was thinking about, and I had some comments on this, is do either of you, and I wanted to ask you guys this and get your opinions. Do you think DJI is going to advance their timetable and try to get something out before the Evo 2 comes out? Ron and Marcus, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, Bill, my thoughts is I'll go a little back and forth with you. Do you think do you think DJI was aware that maybe they didn't know the specs, but they knew an Autel Evo 2 was coming out at CES. So if they were going to move anything up, you'd think that those plans would have already been in place. I don't know why that just because the Evo 2 is having problems, why that would change their timeline if they hadn't already accelerated it when they first heard. Well, it wasn't even rumors. Autel announced they were coming out with the Evo 2, and I think they even announced that it was going to be like 8K and stuff, right? A lot of that was known from directly from Autel themselves that this stuff was coming. CES, am I right on that, Bill?
Well, it was revealed when we got the FCC grant ID information. Okay, we knew
in December still, right?
Yeah, that was back in December. We knew all that information at that point. So, it was just actually physically seeing the drone at CES like Marcus was able to get to do. And, that was good. What else was real good? And Marcus brought up a great point here is how solid and how polished and professional that looked. Because I know Ken had said when he went and was looking at the original Evo, how they had different like prototype models. He said you could tell that those were prototype models out there, okay? That they weren't polished, they weren't professional. That's a great point, Marcus. They brought out their best here at CES. So, again, some more kudos to them for doing that. So, Marcus, what's your take on this?
Well, let me finalize it out.
Go ahead, Ron.
Marcus. So, based on what you said there, no, I don't think this will change DJI's plans at all. They're the big guns in town. They're the Apple in the drone world, whatever. It marches to their beat, not to somebody else's. So, I say this doesn't change DJI's timeline at all for drones coming out this year. Marcus, what do you think?
Yeah, what Ron said and what Lauren said in the chat. Yeah, no, it's not going to change their timeline. DJI has had their plans in place, I'm sure, for quite some time. What Autel does probably, is not going to play into that probably whatsoever.
Yeah, that's I concur with you guys. I don't think DJI does not want to rush something in just for the sake of getting something out. Okay. If they were a, smaller company or, trying to get themselves noticed, I'll pick on, who makes the V-Copter Falcon?
Zero drones.
Zero robotics.
Zero, yeah.
Let's say a zero robotics. I could see
zero robotics.
Somebody like them, jumping the gun here and saying, let's get this out. Let's be front and center. let's get some, let's get some attention here. Okay. But for DJI, when they come out with something, and I think Ron brought up a good point, they're the ones, they're the EF Hutton. When EF Hutton talks, people listen. They're the big gun in town. Okay, when they make a statement, okay, and when they come out with a product, okay, it's head and shoulders above everybody else, and they set the bar here. Okay, so the Evo 2 is going to be what it is. Okay, and the Mavic 3 is going to be what it is when it comes out, towards the summer. Okay, and I don't see them jumping this for any reason whatsoever. There's no need to do this. Now, if they were a week or two away, that's a different story, but I don't think they're there yet. I think they saw what Autel was coming out with, and they saw what Skydio came out with, and they want to get something that's going to combine these features and be better. And they're working on it, and they're going to be diligent about it. And you can bet that they're going to do their homework, and it's going to be done. It's going to be done right. It's going to be done well, as far as that's concerned.
Good comment. Yeah, and as far as DJI, I wouldn't even want to see him react to this. We don't need a Mavic Air 2.5, in between the 2 and the 3. You know what I mean? Like just hang in there, give us the 3 with all the stuff we want going forward. Don't mess around, throw some kind of quickie pro Mavic 2.5 out there just to try to steal a few sales from Autel. I would want to see them do that. Even they wouldn't do that, but even if I wanted to see it, I would want to see them do it.
Okay, question for you guys. Okay, now Lauren did indicate that the coronavirus is affecting DJI, so obviously it's going to have an effect here with Autel as well, because obviously Autel's manufacturing is over in China as well. Do either of you think that also played into this decision to delay the introduction of the Evo 2?
Bill, I think they would have said it if it did.
Okay.
They appear to be pretty transparent. They would have said, okay, we found this issue. In addition to that, there's production issues related to the coronavirus. I think they would have been upfront and just said something. I think. Ron?
Yeah, I agree with Marcus too. I think if it was a issue from too many workers being sick, I don't know why they would hold back and not say that, unless the government didn't want them to talk about how many sick workers they had. But I mean, anything's possible, but I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, and Lauren agrees with us as well too, and I do too. I don't think this is going to play into this, and I think I know, like I said, I led the broadcast off with that statement and everything, and that's a whole nother ball game as far as talking about the coronavirus and how it's affecting things and everything, and it's just like you want to our thoughts and prayers should be with the people of China and those affected by this, that they can find a cure or some type of a way to stem this epidemic and get it taken care of, because it's become an issue, and that's completely separate from drones and everything else that we talk about here tonight. Question of the day: what do you think the reason for the official delay for the Autel Evo 2 is? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.